Hi everybody! I'm doing another video. This one's on voter fraud and the SAVE Act, and I'm actually having a good time, and I hope you're finding the information valuable. So the SAVE Act, or the Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act, was introduced in the House in January and passed with 221 votes on April 10th. It still needs to clear the Senate, but there's still time to ping your senators if you want to do so. I'll put a link to the U.S. Senator page in the comments. This bill, the reason I'm speaking about it, and also voter fraud, is this bill would require all applicants using the federal voter registration form to provide documentary proof of citizenship in person at their local election office. The documents that qualify for proof are a birth certificate showing you were born in the U.S., a U.S. naturalization certificate, or consular record of birth abroad, along with a driver's license or state ID, or a U.S. passport or a previously issued passport. Currently, you can register to vote with a driver's license or a state ID online, by mail, or in person. The proof of citizenship requirement is a top election-related priority for Trump and House Republicans, who argue it's needed to eliminate instances of non-citizen voting. U.S. Rep. Brian Steele, a Wisconsin Republican who chairs the House committee that handles election legislation, said during Thursday's debate that the bill is meant to restore Americans' confidence in our elections. Nearly all Democrats lined up against the bill and warned that it risks disenfranchising millions of Americans who do not have ready access to the proper documents. I can already hear the arguments for both sides, but keep listening. In case it didn't sink in the first time, if this act passes, even if you're currently registered to vote in federal elections, you will need to re-register in person. If you have been voting for 70 years, you will now need to gather your documents and go into your local election office to register. This is a huge burden for seniors, for people that work during the day with no paid time off, and is a poll tax for those that no longer have original documentation. It may also be an issue for women who have taken their spouse's last name, so therefore their ID doesn't match their birth certificate. We already have to show our birth certificate in order to get a driver's license or state ID, which is what is needed to register to vote currently. Therefore, the action that will be imposed on us if this bill passes is totally redundant and inconvenient and is only meant to disenfranchise voters, in my opinion. As a side note, Project 2025, which is in full implementation, does not value women, people of color, or queer folks, and will do everything they can to keep us from voting. This is one of many stunts Republicans are attempting to keep people down. Any Republicans saying this bill is, Republicans are saying this bill is to restore Americans' confidence in our elections. But let's be very, very clear. The only reason people have lost confidence in our elections is because of falsehoods spread by Republicans and Trump. Once again, they're trying to fix a problem that doesn't exist. It is already a felony to vote in our country if you are a non-citizen. And if caught, you could go to jail or be deported. So why would someone come here looking for a better life? Why would someone coming here want to risk voting and going to jail or being deported? They wouldn't, and they don't. You'll be very surprised to know, due to all of the pants on fire information about voting, that voter fraud is practically non-existent in the U.S. I know some of you do not believe it, but keep listening. The amount of proven fraud is, are you ready? 0.000085%. I can hear some of you already yelling fake news, but hear me out. This figure is from the Heritage Foundation's own database. Yes, I will leave a link to the database in the comments. Please go verify this for yourself. As you probably know, The Heritage Foundation is a far-right think tank that is behind Project 2025 and other nefarious adventures to impose the will of a few onto the many. They have tracked voter fraud going back 42 years. During this time, there have been only 1,576 cases. That's right, less than 1,600 cases in 42 years, and this is from their database. Less than 3 a year resulted in criminal conviction. Yes, less than 3. So, voter fraud is not an issue. It is so heartbreaking to me that our own elected officials continue this charade and sow so much doubt in the minds of voters. What we know about Trump specifically is that he projects onto others what he himself does. Trump himself is a cheater in many ways. He cheats on his wives, cheats the tax system, cheats subcontractors, and files bankruptcy as an ongoing business strategy, and he tried to cheat his way into a 2020 election victory. He thinks everyone must be cheating because he's a cheater. This is kind of fun. So you can go to the website PolitiFact and look up the truth scorecard of various political figures. I'm going to throw out some percentages for some of our elected officials. The percentage I am stating is the number of times when fact-checked that each of these individuals was mostly false, or pants on fire false. So basically they were lying, okay? Biden was mostly false, or pants on fire false 41% of the time that he was fact-checked. Some may be surprised it's that high, while others might be surprised it's that low. For Mitch McConnell, the percentage is 43. For Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, 66, 2/3 of the time. For J.D. Vance, it's 80% of the time, and for Trump, it's 76%. Our current president lies 76% of the time. I'm not surprised one bit, as I've been watching this for years. A voter fraud discussion wouldn't be complete without mentioning the 2020 presidential election. Hear me loud and clear. There is absolutely no evidence to back up the claim that the election was stolen. Trump knew he lost. He was told by his own attorney general that he lost, and his own appointee in charge of voter security, and every lawsuit they attempted failed. Every single one. Trump committed crimes to try to stay in office, and he led his followers to a bloody attempt to try to stop the certification. Many who tried to help Trump steal the election went to jail, were fined, lost their license to practice law, or a combination of those outcomes. To sum up, there are over 3,000 counties in the U.S. Every county runs their own elections. Believing that our local election officials are criminals is unfair and unwarranted. These people are public servants and members of our own communities. Of course, there might be some suspicious activity here and there, but our elections have proven time and time again to be safe, and we can count on the results. The results of the 2020 election are being poured over because of some anomalies detected in the data. Trump said before the election that he had a secret weapon. He also told us that Musk knew certain voting machines, and there is, in fact, the Starlink connection. From that information, I could go crazy yelling and screaming that the 2024 election was stolen. I wouldn't put it past Trump, but facts matter, and until we are presented with facts, we must accept the results. So, in my opinion, the SAVE Act is redundant. It's going to cause a lot of disenfranchisement with voters. And the only reason that we are not competent with our elections is because of the Republican leadership. And that is very unfortunate. Thank you for listening to today's TED Talk.